Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to Getting to the Human's Mind. It's your host Habiba Kafafi. Hello, we're back again with another episode. Forgive me for the brief hiatus we had for a good while now, but I've actually had quite a lot on my plate. However, we're back again, and as some of you may know, we are in the blessed and holy month of Ramadan. To quickly clarify what is Ramadan and its purpose, it's the ninth month of the Islamic calendar, where Muslims fast the 30 days of the holy month. This devotional act is a major act of worship, and it is a powerful means of cultivating God consciousness in the heart and mind. Especially, its main purpose is the cut of bad habits which are accumulated throughout the year and desires that are normally permissible in order to gain self-control on oneself. And most importantly, what makes this month quite significant and remarkable, like no other month, is the fact that the Quran was revealed in this month. However, the main goal of this episode is the fact that I would like to address or direct few Ramadan misconceptions that we actually usually get into Ramadan with. So the first thing is that, ironically, a lot of people usually tend to think that Ramadan is like a Muslim mukbang or a family feast. You'll see people excited for the dishes to be made, or spending hours in the kitchen making special dishes, whereas it's the month of fasting. We're literally meant to be fasting, so there is less food consumed here. However, yes, we're not meant to be starving ourselves, but yet we're not supposed to be indulging with the eating, with overeating. We're not supposed to be overindulging with eating. And however, we should be eating an appropriate proportion of food. The Prophet, peace be upon him, used to say that the moment you feel full, you shall stop, as you're meant to fill your stomach with 1/3 food, 1/3 drink, and 1/3 air. Yet here, we fill the whole third with just food. So just try to eat or consume proportionate amount of food, especially that you're trying to also not feel heavy for the coming prayers that you're supposed to be praying, like for Tarawih. A lot of people after iftar, they're just dead. They're very sleepy, obviously. They feel very heavy, they feel very full, they can't even move, they can't even lift a finger. They're just there lying down, and they're missing Isha, the obligatory prayer, and they're missing Tarawih, which is Sunnah, but it's also advisable to be praying. So you just here kind of lost the main point of Ramadan. Also, on the same note, it's neither a weight loss 30-day challenge. I've heard a lot of people telling me that, oh yeah, this Ramadan, inshallah, I'll be fasting. I'll be losing weight for Eid and whatnot. No, that's not how it's supposed to be. Like the main point here is not to have it focused on food. Whatever it is, whether you're overeating, not eating that much, whatever it is, it's not about food here. It's more than that. Another misconception I'd like to address is the binge watching series and pulling all-nighters. As much as we all enjoy watching the new series coming out in Ramadan, wallahi, these series are nothing but a distraction from the worship that you're supposed to be doing throughout the holy month. Imagine after iftar, instead of going to Tarawih or even playing the obligatory prayer, Isha, or praying Qiyamul Layl, you're here binging several episodes of a series. You have just lost yourself a countless amount of reward, let alone the opportunity to get a step closer from seeking entry to Jannah, since the gates of Jannah are open throughout the months and the gates of hellfire closed. So try to, I get that we have this urge to watch series after iftar, but even if you want to do so, try to decrease it as much as you possibly could, or try to watch something that's beneficial. Like for instance, my family and I, we watch this documentary that's called Scene. It's quite beneficial, I would say. Like, we're not here watching, I don't know, like some, I don't know, like a TV show or something. I don't know, like, I feel like it's not very beneficial. Like, maybe if it's beneficial, if it's like Islamic lectures, like, I personally would advise that a lot. Like Omar Sulaiman, he has this series. It's called Jannah at Last, I believe. It's very beneficial. It's very and it's like an eye-opening to things to get you closer about learning, things to get you closer, like, but knowing things in the deen. And I think it's very good, and it's a good alternative to watch rather than watching these series that you're usually binge watching. Another thing I'd say is going from family and friend gatherings to another, as we say in Arabic, azumas or azimas, whatever you say. So I feel like sometimes people here are trying to like hit up as many like iftar invitations as they possibly could throughout the month, but it's not like that. Like my mom, I remember she would say that she doesn't prefer spending the month back home in Egypt, as we get very caught up with the family and the iftar gatherings, and it would take her so much time. It's like very time consuming to prepare and all that. So it's better to spend it here where we're staying, since we don't really know much people, so she gets the time for herself. So this is kind of like the point. Like, try to connect with your do get into like family gatherings and stuff, but like don't like spend the 30 days or like half of it in like iftar gatherings, like you've just wasted a lot of time instead of like having read a few pages of Quran, prayed a few rak'ahs or something like that. Moving on with number 4, reconnecting with friends and family. Yes, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam قال من أحب أن يبسط له في رزقه وأن يبسط له في أثره فليصل رحمه. Prophet, peace be upon him, said, anyone who wants to have his provision expanded and his term of life prolonged should maintain ties of kinship. Yes, there is a important emphasis on maintaining ties of kinship. However, we shall do so without exaggerating, as the holy month, like specifically in Ramadan, as the holy month isn't for reconnecting with your family and friends. However, it's for reconnecting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is what I'm trying to say, that yes, reconnect with your family, but do it with perhaps in iftar, not like with times that you're supposed to be instead doing an act of worship. Next is social media. Now, social media, people use it as a tool or an escape route in order to overcome the struggles of fasting and just passing time. But why scroll through social media or such platforms when you can flip through the pages of the Quran and gain numerous rewards? Why read the messages of your friends when you can read the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Like, it's the month of Quran. Like, it was literally the month the Quran's revealed, and it's not the month of like Instagram. Astaghfirullah, you know what I mean? Like, try to like prioritize. If you want to use it to connect with few friends or something, okay. If it's gonna be done with no harm, like, let's not forget that usually these platforms, like using them, we're susceptible to witness or listen to things we come across that we shall also refrain from. Like, we're not supposed to be listening to. Like, for example, if you're watching a video of I don't know what, there's like usually music background. You're not supposed to be listening to that while you're fasting, or even in Ramadan, or coming across things that you're not even supposed to be seeing. Or it's usually, it makes you prone to like having ill speech. So the last thing would be, it's not really a misconception, but a habit that we have accumulated, and we have brought with us in Ramadan, and it's quite risky actually, because it breaks your fast, and that is gossiping, backbiting, swearing, lying, being high-tempered, arguing. All these ill speeches. Prophet, peace be upon him, says, whoever does not give up false speech and acting upon it, Allah has no need of his giving up his food and drink. Your fast is considered void. So that is what I'm trying to say. Like, social media on its own kind of encourages sometimes that, because you're in like group chats, or like even if you're talking one-to-one or whatever it is, you could be doing so subconsciously. However, regardless of social media, just like gatherings and meeting with people and all that, it also is a way to encourage such habits. So please try to avoid them. You want to take the full reward of your fasting, and you just don't want to fast without and you don't want to like go through the struggles of the fasting and all that without actually getting the reward that you're aiming for. So these were a few misconceptions that I wanted to discuss. However, considering that we are in the last 15 days of Ramadan, subhanAllah, already, or halfway through it, it's important that you plan well how you'll spend these last few nights. I remember this one person, they used to tell me, try to like it like knowing this one thing about Ramadan kind of changed my perspective and my mindset getting into Ramadan every year, alhamdulillah. And it's that spending Ramadan as if it's your last, because wallahi, we don't even know if we're going to be here next Ramadan or not. Prophet, peace be upon him, used to say that, Allahumma ballighna Ramadan, like Allah make us witness Ramadan. You don't know if you're going to be here, yes, the next few days or not, but we don't even know if we're going to be here like the next coming Ramadan, or if we're gonna even witness the last 10 nights of Ramadan that we're all wanting to witness, inshallah ta'ala. So prepare this Ramadan, prepare the coming 15 days as if they're your last, and also have this thing in mind that pray every salah as if it's your last salah. This actually encourages you to have more khushu' and more focus and more dedication when doing the act of worship. So therefore, I would say make sure you're not fasting and leaving out your obligatory prayers, because I know some people sometimes they would pray throughout the whole day, from like after Fajr. They would sleep, and then the sleeping schedules are usually messed up, so like from after sleep all the way to iftar. That's if you don't have work. If you have work, in that case, then that's a different story. But if you don't, you kind of like miss out on the obligatory prayers just because you're sleeping. Like, yes, sleeping is an act of worship, but if it's done, in the right time. So be aware of this, because they are as important. Another tip is to recite as much as you can of the Quran. It's very, very, very advisable if you can do khatam, if you can like recite the complete Quran throughout the 30 days. There are several ways to do so if you just prioritize it and kind of like have time management. Yes, it may be hard for some people who are working or studying or whatnot. Like last year, it was very hard for me to do so. Because I was a first-year college student, so I couldn't really do the full khatm. I just like recited the Quran. But the years before, when I was in school, it was a little bit more convenient, because my mom taught me a way to do it where it's like you either like every day you read a juz'a, so it's like whenever you want to read it, sometimes just like sit and read the whole juz'a, or if you read 5 pages after each prayer. So as you plan it out, just try to recite the Quran, at least read it more than you normally do. Another tip is dua. As much as I would say this, the importance of dua is literally beyond like the human's mind. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Ad-du'a huwa al-ibadah." The dua, the supplication, is the essence of worship. It's like the main thing in your worship. So spend your time making dua before and after fajr, before iftar, before you just break your fast, or literally whenever. But these are like the most these are like the best times, I think, or like the preferable times. But other than that, any time of the day, it's good, like just make dua whenever, like especially in these 30 days. Your du'as are accepted, so why are you not doing it? It's literally just raising your hand and asking Allah whatever whatever you want, whatever you desire, anything. Ask Allah to forgive you, ask Allah to help you out in any of your struggles, to ask Allah to make us from the mu'mineen, in the day of judgment. And also the last, I think Aisha radiallahu anha asked the Prophet, peace be upon him, what is the best dua to be recited in the last 10 days of Ramadan? It's Allahumma innaka afuun kareemun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anni. Oh Allah, you're the most forgiving and you love to forgive, so forgive me. And this dua is preferably to be recited throughout the last 10 days. Even if you want to recite it from now on, the last 15 days, it's also good to do so. Another thing is increase from the azkar, subhanallah wa bihamdi, la ilaha illallah, Allahu akbar, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Try to increase from reciting these azkars, every now and then. And also from the good deeds, try to help people. Also, for instance, giving the needy iftar meals, making a few meals for even the simplest thing. You don't have to spend a lot of meals. Giving them a date is considered as much as giving a meal. You're taking technically the same reward. So anything, just as much as you're helping out and you're doing good deeds, then inshallah ta'ala it will be considered. And last but not least, the night prayers, Qiyam al-Layl and Taraweeh and all these prayers. The Prophet ﷺ used to say that the most excellent prayer after what is prescribed is praying during the night. So try to spend your night praying Qiyam al-Layl and just praying all these times and having alone time with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and asking him. And even during that time you can make dua. And that's pretty much it. I wish you all Ramadan Mubarak. Taqabbalallahu minna wa minkum salihin a'mal. May Allah accept all our righteous deed. May Allah make this month beneficial and a forgiving month and give you answers to all your prayers. May Allah always keep you guided and protected and grant you the ability to make the most out of this blessed month. May Allah protect you and your family. May Allah grant your du'as in your ways you didn't imagine and always surround you with righteous people. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Wassalamu alaikum, and see you all in the next episode.